Washington regards Latin America as its backyard. That's why Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is here, where the US believes it should have an influence. But it's a region that often feels neglected by or is in conflict with the superpower to the north. A few years ago, Argentina, like many of its neighbours, was governed by left-of-centre leaders, at odds with Washington and sympathetic to Venezuela's then-president Hugo Chavez. Not anymore. All want an end to the crisis in Venezuela. The question is, how?
So one of the aspects of considering sanctioning oil is what effect will it have on the Venezuelan people, and is it a step that might bring this to an end, to a more rapid end and a more rapid close? Because not doing anything to bring this to an end is also asking the Venezuelan people to suffer for a much longer time.
The Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, blames the United States and its allies for trying to undermine his socialist government.
They have inherited the arrogance, the imperial arrogance of believing that with a button, an order, a plan in English, the Bolivarian revolution is finished. With a declaration from the head of the empire calling me a dictator, it's over. The dictatorship has already fallen, as they call it. With a statement by Secretary of State Tillerson, we are going to surrender. They do not know us. They do not know our strength.
The Argentine president, Mauricio Macri, is now one of those in the region most critical of the Venezuelan government. And Mr. Tillerson wants to work with him.
All of us in the region want to see Venezuela return to its constitution. This is heart-wrenching to watch what is happening to the Venezuelan people.
Venezuela is suffering food and medicine shortages. Inflation is rampant, crime is rising, and thousands cross the borders every day in search of provisions for a better life. Mr. Tillerson's visit to Argentina is to show that Washington cares about Latin America, that the region's long-term interests lie with the United States and not with China or Russia. He praised the Argentine government's austerity-driven, investor-friendly economic model, much like that of the current US administrations. That's not something you would have heard a few years ago. The Secretary of State is emphasising where the two countries can cooperate: trade, defence, fighting terrorism and drug trafficking. Not so much on immigration. There'll be similar bridge building when he moves on to Peru and Colombia. Daniel Schwein, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.